Necrochasm is in a bit of a controversy right now, not because of the quality of the exotic or how good it is, but because of how you get it. Basically, you are guaranteed it at some point within the next 20 runs, probably, spanned across 20 weeks. But it's 20 weeks unless your RNG is, a little bit better than average. Mine isn't, personally. So, I'm going to give you my idea on how to make this exotic, easier to get, but also more enticing for the community as a whole, in my opinion. Of course, if you disagree, tell me down below. And yeah, let's just talk about this. Come up with different ways to improve this, because I think this system is better than solely RNG or a guaranteed quest. So first of all, I think we should increase the chance to drop on every encounter. Like we had acrius back in the day, where you get to farm encounters in the leviathan to get guaranteed drops. I don't think it should be guaranteed, but just a little more. And then you should get 3 on your account per week, 1 for each character, which incentivizes you to do the raid at least 3 times a week, to do it once on every character, which is like, the main point of having the 3 characters, Bungie. The biggest problem I see with this method is people will find the easiest encounter to farm and just do that over and over again, which, I mean, they're already doing that with Ear Ute, because you can do Ear Ute low man really, really fast. So maybe that's something they need to adjust. Like, each encounter has a different percent chance, and those easily farmable ones would have a lower chance. But let's say, taking Crota as an example, the final boss of the raid, so Crota for Crota's End, would have the highest chance of dropping it, in addition to the one you get on the first completion of that character. So you could walk away with 2 randomly, just from Crota, not counting the other encounters. Crota would just have a higher chance of giving you an essence of the oversoul. My next suggestion is the one I would actually want Bungie to implement in the game, because I feel like it would improve the raiding experience for a lot of people at every level, personally. So let's just get into this idea, alright? This is going to be the best way to do it. Bungie might have to raise the requirements of the quests to do this. So like base Necrochasm could be up to 30 or 35, and then the catalyst may be 50 or 60. But this idea right here, let me tell you, it's going to make raids more accessible for newer players, and LFG more friendly to newer players in order to learn raids. Hopefully. If you already have the quest, you gain progress for every single person you carry through the final encounter that hasn't done it before. So let's say you and your normal fire team got Crota done. You finished it. You have the quest for Necrochasm. It's not done though. So you go on LFG, you make a post, and you say, hey, willing to teach new players Crota's End, or at least just the Crota fight. And you teach them how to do it. Let's say it's you and 5 new players. When you beat Crota, you'll get 1 essence of the oversoul for every single player that hasn't completed it before. Yeah, it that simple. Carrying players should reward you. That's the whole idea here. Hopefully this idea would start a chain reaction of newer players and solo players trying out raids for the first time, and hopefully lower the amount of toxicity in LFG services and within the in-game LFG we're getting soon. And this would give veteran players a greater incentive to play with newer players and more casual players, and teach them how to do the raids instead of just saying, hey, you do ad clear. In theory, this should also be farmable to further encourage more experienced players to grind it out with new players to help them. This would help new players find teams for LFG more quickly, and if they have a positive experience, maybe they have a new group of friends to play with, or they decide to carry more new players through and continue the cycle. I'm not a game dev. Maybe this isn't practical. I'm going to go over some potential cons of this idea. Like, number 1, it would really probably only work for the first couple weeks that the raid exists in the game. Because at that time, veteran players that really want that exotic have probably already grinded it with new players. But the idea is that the newer players would then say, oh, that wasn't so bad, and then help new players. Con number 2, the veteran players are just taking like 1 or 2 new players in and just telling them to add clear while they handle the mechanics, which does kind of hurt this idea. But, another one would be maybe LFG's like, you need to know what to do before you get in here. You need to watch a guide, which fair, you probably should. But, hopefully there's an uptick in people that are willing to teach newer players how to do these encounters and not just get mad at them and things like that. And another potential downside would be boosting services would probably take advantage of this pretty bad. They'd probably get someone that's done the raid before and a bunch of new players and just farm your account like that and charge more money than you should ever do. Like, you should put 0 money in boosting services, okay? But they're probably going to upcharge that so much because it's not just an RNG chance. It's guaranteed, and all they got to do is do the raid a few times. That's the biggest problem, probably. Anyways, those are just some of the pros and cons of my idea. Basically, give veteran players a reason to take newer players under their wing, especially since we're going to have LFG in the game soon. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Thank you so much. Please tell me what you think down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you next time.